It was nice to wrap up the weekend on a quiet note, even though it was a bit chilly for some of you. At least the numbers weren't too terrible as we pop up the numbers from Joplin Regional over the past 36 hours. We did see highs top out right around 60 during the 5 o'clock hour yesterday afternoon. Then we took a dip into the upper 30s, lower 40s this morning, and topping back out in the upper 50s this afternoon. Some of you in even the lower 60s, especially out in northeastern Oklahoma. As far as where we go from here, though, staying quite mild. You can even argue a bit warm, certainly for Monday, but especially for Tuesday ahead of our next storm system. That's a system that we need to watch closely because we have a good shot for thunderstorms with that and maybe a potential severe threat as well. And we'll be briefly chilly once we get on the backside of that system while we also dry out by about Thursday. That's at least the short term of how we look going through the rest of the week ahead. And you can see from outside, 7th and range line, we had quiet skies all day, but high cloud cover at times, sure. But that didn't stop you in northeast Oklahoma going into the lower to middle 60s this afternoon. Everybody else not too terrible, mainly upper 50s to about 60 degrees. And these numbers have taken a bit of a dip. You can see just before we hit the top of the 9 o'clock hour, we had temperatures mainly between the mid 40s and lower 50s across the board. But I think it's going to be kind of a brisk night for some of you with mid 30s and some of you near 40 going into tonight and tomorrow morning. But even though the radar suggested we had some showers working across central and eastern parts of Missouri, I took the drive from 44 home back to here today, so I could verify that none of that reached the ground. So the entire region stayed dry to wrap up this weekend. We got a stationary front out to the south and west. That'll come in on Tuesday to push us well into the 70s. Then we got this cold front. This doesn't come into play until Tuesday night or Wednesday once this upper level low kicks out of the Pacific and starts heading our way. But in the short term, we're starting to get underneath a quick little upper level ridge, so that is going to mean warmer temperatures, thankfully, back in the picture starting tomorrow. We just have to get past kind of a cool, if not cold night for many of you. Just seeing partly cloudy skies coming and going throughout the course of the night. Maybe some mid to upper 30s for parts of southeast Kansas, mainly lower 40s elsewhere for the rest of the region. But look at how nice we warm up throughout the day tomorrow. Mid to upper 60s at the very least, certainly some lower 70s possible. I think the hand tracker is acting up a bit again, Chris. We'll break down the planner again in the next half hour here, but if I can, I want to try and recenter that map a little bit. If you could pardon me for a few moments, folks. I want to get the map recentered once again. It's acting up a little bit. How do you like that? Let's try it this way.
Nice in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Not too bad up to the north.
Okay, I figured this out. So let's talk about Tuesday. We know we're dry and good for tomorrow, but here's Tuesday, at least mid, if not upper 70s, dry for much of the day. But look at by 8 o'clock. These scattered storms popping up, some of these could certainly be strong and severe. They're going to try to start sneaking in by 10 o'clock Tuesday night and then just grow in coverage and push on through the region as we go through Tuesday overnight and then the Wednesday morning. And a quick note about that. There's a low severe threat with that, mainly across our corners of Kansas and Oklahoma. Let's keep an eye on those storms between 8 o'clock tomorrow, make that Tuesday evening until about 4 a.m. Wednesday. Thinking most of the threats will be mainly pretty low, hail, wind, and tornadoes. But I'm thinking we'll just get a lot of rain out of this, and that will continue into Wednesday. 69 tomorrow, 76 on Tuesday. We'll call it an alert day, but you could argue an alert evening based on how those storms want to play out. Then quickly to 54 Thursday, then mainly mild going into next weekend, Chris.
I'm looking forward to next weekend, but I am ready for storm season, so hopefully they don't get too out of hand.
So far Tuesday doesn't look like it, but it's a system that Doug, Michael, and I will be watching very closely for everybody.
Absolutely, Nick. Thank you so much. Coming up, how the war in Ukraine